Hello friends, welcome to Angular Pipes Part 1 series. This video is not for the beginners who are new to Angular. I am assuming that you have some basic knowledge in Angular. Very soon, I am going to start a new beginner series in Angular. Stay tuned for my channel. Let's see what are pipes in Angular. Pipes. Pipes is a great feature in Angular which provides us out of the box to do a transformation before the data is shown to the user or hand over to the browser to render it on the user screens. So there are various kinds of pipes available to work with. So generally in the software applications, we have to deal with different kinds of the data, like the string data or the date data types or the number data types and the complex types as well. If you see our built-in pipes, we have various types. So to deal with the string data types, we have pipes that is called lowercase pipe, uppercase pipe and title case pipe. If you want to deal with number data types, we have currency pipe, decimal pipe and percent pipe. The same way, if you want to display with the date formats, the way to show the date in different formats, we use the date pipe. So if you want to show the complex objects in the browser screens, we have the JSON pipe. In addition to this, we have another pipe called slice pipe. So this slice pipe is used to extract a portion of the data, like I can say like a subset of the data and show it to the users on the screen. Okay, to run our Angular application and see the results of the built-in pipes, we need to set up the software required to run in Angular application in our laptop or local machines. It requires significant amount of time, or at least you should have some basic knowledge of setting up the development environment. You should have knowledge in Node.js and npm.js and how to install these softwares and how to spin up your local environments. We will see how to set up our local environment or development environment in your local machines or on your laptops in another video. We are not going to see this in this video. Today, I am going to show you how to run your Angular applications without doing much any setup on your local machine. All you need is a browser and an internet connection. Introduce you to a platform called StackBlitz.com. Okay, let's discuss what about this StackBlitz.com. So when you open it, the StackBlitz.com, it's an online coding platform. It's a wonderful platform, which I can say, which gives us the ability for us, without much worrying out how to set up our Angular development environment. So it comes into different types of an options. It gives us it has a different types of membership where we can pay and use this online coding platform. So if you go for an membership platform, it gives the ability for us to have our private repositories or unlimited full stack applications. Don't worry about all these things. If you don't want to use the membership, don't worry. We can just have our cadet membership, which will cost you nothing, and then we can have unlimited public projects. Okay. Now all you have to click is start a new app. When you click on new start application, StackBlitz.com gives you the wide variety of choices to build the applications. So we can develop the applications using Angular framework or React framework or Ionic framework, targeting for mobile applications or mobile browsers, and the TypeScript projects and RxJS projects and other JavaScript projects as well. Today mainly we will focus on Angular application. So once you click on the Angular or TypeScript application, so it's going to spin up your development environment and is going to make our browser ready to do the coding. If you can see, right, the spinning up is happening at compiling application and starting dev server. It will take a couple of seconds. To make ready the development environment. Okay, once you come into the browser, first I'll make you to understand what are all the different sections available for you to do the coding and see the results in the application. Before we move that, right, it will ask you with a couple of notifications asking you to sign in into this your GitHub account, and set up your link between your GitHub and your StackBlitz account. So you don't need to worry about these things. If you have your GitHub account, you can link up your GitHub account so that whatever the work what you are doing, right, will be gone when you close your browser window. If you want to retain your work and you wanted to reuse, or later if you want tomorrow down the line, right, if you want to see what you have developed, or what you want to recap all the coding whatever you did online, if you want to have it in your GitHub account, we can link your GitHub account and can save your work. If you want, I can we can go through another video where we can set up a account and how to link your work, whatever the work you are doing in StackBlitz.com, in another great video. Okay, okay. Let's jump into the coding section and try to understand the different sections available for us, what StackBlitz.com provides, and how to run our applications and how to see the results. Okay, if you closely observe the project section, and we can see the work area, which I can call whatever the files will open, it will be shown here, and the results is shown into the browser window. So if you closely observe this project folder structure, it will be the similar to your enterprise applications, what you do in your real-time projects. So it will have all your package JSON, Angular JSON, the index.html. All these are all the I can say the boilerplate code which StackBlitz provides ready for us. It will have all the dependencies listed here as well to run on the various platforms or the versions it is using currently this application. If you want all these setup to be done in your local environment, we can do that using an CLI application called NGCLI. So that we will see in another video. Okay, now let's directly jump into our coding part. And then here, every Angular component consists of an three sections. I can say like a style sheet sections where we can define all your styles for your Angular application, and then the view component where we can have your HTML code, and the script component, basically all your server side code, or I can say the server side logic is written here. Okay, now just we will change Angular online. Okay, just do some changes in your coding section, and then try to observe the results on your right side of the window, and it will ask you to have another sign in notification. Don't worry, just close this one and then continue with your work. So when you observe here, right, whatever the changes you do here, whatever the changes you apply here, immediately it will be shown onto the browser of the window. So what it does behind the scenes here is it constantly listens for your code changes, and it will detect your changes, and it will immediately compile your Angular application, and it is going to render it on your browser screen. So it looks whatever the keystrokes if you type here, right, it's immediately reflecting the changes onto your screen. It looks for me like an annoying, a little bit awkward for me. So I don't want to have this kind of feature. So the StackBlitz.com provides you a feature wherein we can customize the properties according to our requirements. So if you see the settings gear icon here, click on settings icon, then you can go through the settings. There are different types of the settings here wherein you can log in into your GitHub account and can register your work here. So if you see the dev server, here we have a reload mechanism and hot reload trigger. Here now we are going to change only these two properties here. The reload mechanism, right, it is selected as hot reload. Instead of that, we will select for an page reload. Okay, and then the page reload trigger. So the page reload trigger, now it is selected as auto. Instead of that, we'll make it as save option. So once you select the reload mechanism and the page reload trigger as save and the reload mechanism as page reload, then we are ready to go with the changes. Now if whatever the changes you do here, immediately it will not reflect, because now we have changed the page reload mechanism. So once you click on the save button, right, then it is going to reapply the changes. It is going to recompile your Angular application behind the scenes, and it is going to render your whatever the Angular component onto the browser. Okay, now go back to our project window where we'll see the list of the files at the folder explorer. Then here we have another called toggle window called toggle gen mode. When you toggle here, right, we'll have more space to do the coding and can see the results in action. Okay, now let's jump into our pipes. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely remove the property here and have our own custom property, pipes demo. Then close whatever the other notifications it comes. Then I'm going to declare few more properties, public properties called title. So this is nothing but our TypeScript component where we will write our server side logic. Then I'll declare a few more properties. Welcome to pipes demo in Angular. Then I'll declare one more property called uppercase title. This is in uppercase. Okay. Now we have defined or we have defined some properties on our server side. Now how to display it is in the view part. So an Angular application, in the view part, we are going to access those server side properties from the TypeScript component and going to render it on the screen. So to use the rendering, I'm going to use a feature called interpolation. Interpolation is a feature wherein we want to display any values from your server side component onto your view part or a view component. We use the interpolation. So I use the interpolation syntax. The syntax for interpolation is the flower brackets, two flower brackets. Inside that, whatever the properties what you do find in your server side component or the TypeScript component, it will be shown, or the Angular framework is going to interpolate or transform the value and shown it to the view part. Once you click on the save button, it is going to display the values, whatever the values you type in your properties is going to display here. To have our rendering in a proper format or readable format, I'm going to have all our properties in h2 tag. I'm going to display the other properties as well. Let's see the uppercase title. Then click on save button. Immediately the results are shown into the right side of the part. Okay. Now, till now, whatever the properties we declare in our TypeScript component are shown here. Now we are going to apply the pipes on these properties. Okay, to have a clear understanding, let's declare a horizontal line. Okay, then we will try to apply the pipes for us. See, so how to declare a pipe? How to use a pipe basically, right? If you want to use a pipe, right, all you have to do is you have to type your property, then a space, and then apply the pipe here, the shift and backslash, and the whatever the pipe name which you wanted to apply. So I'm going to do an uppercase. If you see our article, right, a pipe is called with without any parameters or can accept a single parameter or more than one parameter and returns your transformed value. Okay, if you see here, right, so this is the pipe which Angular provides to us out of the box. So this pipe, we have not written any logic to convert this title into an uppercase, but still we are going ahead and using the uppercase pipe. You have save your changes and immediately our StackBlitz.com is going to convert this property into an uppercase title. Okay, the similar way we will see the other types. Now I'm going to apply a title case on the message. What is my message? Welcome to pipes demo in Angular. So what title case does is it's going to convert or transform each character of the word into a capital letter. Each word beginning letter is converted into a capital letter. Okay, if you see the welcome to pipes in Angular, each word, the starting letter is converted into capital letter. So the similar way I'm going to apply on my uppercase title. So here, this uppercase title, I wanted to convert into lowercase. What is my actual value? It is in uppercase. Now what we did is it converted into a lowercase, but actually this is an uppercase. Thus the center says this is an uppercase, but we converted into a lowercase. Okay. Now we will see the other built-in pipes. Okay. Now we will jump with other built-in pipes called a currency pipe. Okay. So here something different. Let's have our h2 tag. Instead of trying to access the property that is defined in TypeScript component, here directly we can provide the primitive values to the interpolation, and this is works as an expressions. So now I am giving a currency symbol to the this number. So it is 0.45. So what so here the problem what we have facing here is we have not properly closed our interpolation. If we don't properly close our interpolation, Angular is not going to interpret our code. It is going to display as it is. So we have to properly add our code inside the interpolation. Then only is Angular is going to determine the syntax and is going to parse it and apply the formatted values. So if you see here, right, so we have $0.45. By default, the currency code applied is the US dollars. So if you want to apply a different currency code, let's see how that can works. Let's have our h2 tag. Let's define our interpolation. And then this time we have another value 0.65, and we'll have our pipe as currency pipe. So as we discussed earlier, a pipe may works without any parameters, or it can take a parameter, or it can take more than one parameter and return you the transferred value. This time we will try to pass a parameter to our pipe. This time the parameter which we are going to pass is the currency code. So this time we are going to see how INR is going to interpreted by the Angular, and it is going to display the correct symbol. Save your changes. So this time instead of a dollar, it is applied an Indian currency symbol. Okay. Now we will see another parameter, how to pass multiple parameters to our pipes. Let's have our h2 tag. Let's define our interpolation, and then we have the numeric value, and then apply the currency pipe, and this time we are passing multiple parameters. See, if you want to display the currency name instead of the currency symbol, here there is another parameter value which you want to pass is the code. See, here we are calling a pipes without any parameters. Here we are calling with one parameter, and we are calling the pipe with multiple parameters as well. Save our changes and let's see the results. See, here instead of applying the symbol, it is going to applying the currency name or the currency code. Okay. Now let's jump with the another property called date type. Okay. In order to demonstrate the date pipe, I'm going to declare we are going to use a TypeScript property today's date. Okay. Let's have our property copied here. So here I'm declaring a today's date value with the current date and value. Depending upon from which location you are and what is the current time you are, so the current value, date and time is displayed to the user. Let's decorate our property inside h2 tag, and then save our changes and see that. See how Angular is going to interpret the pipes. Okay, here we have not applied any pipes to our date value. Let's see by applying different types of the date formats. So this is the date format which is going to render to the users onto the user's browser. But this is not what we have required. We wanted to display the date in a proper format. Let's have our h2 tag, then declare our interpolation. Let's have our date, and then the date we are passing a date pipe. Date pipe takes a parameter. Let's see different types of the parameters that are available. We have n number of data types available, data types, or you can say like pipe formats which are available to apply on the dates. So what are all the valued values that are going to use with the date pipe is, I'm going to give a link in my description below this video where you can go and see the different types of the valid values that are available for the date. So let's have a short parameter. Let's save our changes and see the results. Okay, so this will have a value like in a more readable format. The same way, if you want to apply another parameters to this pipe, let me quickly copy this code. So like this, we can have a short date format or a short time format. If you want to display only date or only time to the users, here we can use the short date, short time format. Let's save our changes and see the results. You can see the date, only date is applied to the property, or only the time is applied to the property. In the similar fashion, we have medium date, medium time, and then we have long date and long time format. Let's quickly jump and see how it looks like. I'm just going to do a copy paste for this. I'm going to have a medium, and then the medium date and medium time and long date, long time. Let's see how this looks like. Okay. If you see here, there are wide variety of choices that Angular gives us the flexibility to display the date and time formats. Here, if you take the medium format, here it will have the August is having only the 3 characters, and then medium date, and then medium time format. If you see the difference between how it looks like, and then if you take a long format, all the months have been expanded like an August, and then the time, including the time zone also it will display. Now we will see one more format with the time. The weekday, and then the month and the date as well. Okay. Now let's see the JSON pipe. JSON representation of the object. So if we define any complex object in our TypeScript component, and if we wanted to display it on the browser screen, we are going to use the JSON object. Let's see how the JSON object is going to look like. So for that, I'm going to have a property in my TypeScript component. I'm going to declare a property called product property. I'm declaring a product variable, a JSON object. Okay, this object contains of 2 properties. One is the ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the product name. So let's try to print this object in our view component. We'll have our h2 tag, and this time, instead of trying to apply any pipes on this object, let's see how this looks like, how this Angular is going to interpret and print the results onto the screen. Let's save our changes. Okay. If you see here, right, so it is print as, it is displayed as object because this is not any primitive type, or it is not any string data type, because Angular determined this is a complex object, so it has defined the underlying data type for that. So in order to display actual values for that, we are going to apply a JSON pipe. because as this is a JSON pipe, it's now the data is shown properly to the users. Now let's jump on with the another pipe, percent pipe. Let's have our h2 tag. Let's have our interpolation, and this time I'm going to have like a 0.75 and apply. I'm going to apply a percent on this. Let's save our changes and see the results. 0.75 is equivalent to the 75%. Now we will see one more pipe called the decimal pipe. Now let's see how to use the decimal pipe. So in order to demonstrate the decimal pipe, here I am going to paste some values and I am going to explain you what those are. So here I'm going to determine in my h2 tag, and inside the interpolation I have defined a numeric value like 4.567, and I'm applying a number pipe, and the number pipe takes the parameter value in a specific format. So what does it, this represent in a string format? So it represents a decimal portion, like before the decimal values there is 1.2-3, a digit, and then followed by a dot, and then number, and then hyphen, and followed by a digit. Okay. So what I am telling to the Angular for the number pipe is I wanted to display a one digit before the decimal, and then after the decimal I wanted to display a minimum of 2 values and a maximum of 3 values. Then it is, if you take my value, it is 4.567. So before the decimal there is one digit, that is 4, and then after that there is a minimum of 2 values after the decimal, that is 5, 6 and 7. So the maximum is 3, 5, 6, 7, and then minimum is 2. So there will not be having any changes when you run when you execute these results. So then if you take the another format, in this format what I am saying is 2.1-2. What I am telling is before the decimal places I want 2 digits, that is I have 1 digit already. So Angular is going to add one more value called, that is 0 before 4, like 0.5, and now I have value of 5, 6, 7. Now what I am telling to Angular is I wanted to display a minimum of 1 digit and a maximum of 2 digit. So it is going to truncate it to the nearest digit value. Let's run and see the results. Okay. If you try to interpret, right, there is no change in the value of the first digit. So if it is 4.567, what I'm telling is I wanted to display one digit before the decimal, and then two digits after the decimal, and maximum is the three values, 4.567. Now here what I'm telling to Angular is display two values, that is 0.4, and then it has been rounded to the nearest two digits. So because it is 567, so it has been rounded to 57. If we have like a 521, it is going to display as 52. Let's save our changes. Yeah, it is now 0.04.52. Okay. Now let's look into our another pipe called slice pipe. Demonstrate this slice pipe, right? Instead of directly declaring our property and trying to access from the TypeScript component, let's try to pass like the primitive value, like how we pass the numeric values. Let's first define our h2 tag and then have our interpolation. And now instead of now accessing the TypeScript property from the server side component, now I'm going to directly pass some static value, or like how we are passing a numeric value, and then we'll see. Then I'll pass a value called person, and then on the type of the person, I'm going to apply a pipe called slice pipe. So the pipe is slice, and then it is going to take an argument, like, and it take like an index of the argument, like the starting value and the ending value. So the starting value is mandatory, ending value is not mandatory. So now we will see what it looks like. Now I'm given a number called 3. If you take the index 0, 1, 2, 3 from S, it is going to display all the values for me to the browser. Let's save your changes and see the results. This is how it looks like. Okay. Having said that, we have demonstrated all the built-in pipes that are available. These are only a subset of the built-in pipes available. I'm going to paste you a link below this video where you can find all the different types of the pipes available from Angular. One important thing to note about the pipes is So the pipes, the transformations is going to be applied on the view part only. So whatever the values, whatever the interpolation, what Angular tries to interpret and display the results onto your browser, the pipes is not going to change the value of the class. What I mean to say is, so we have defined few properties in our TypeScript. It is never going to apply the changes. Whatever the pipes with what we applied is going to apply on the view layer only. Thank you all for watching my video. All right, that's all in this video. See you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.